What's going on, everybody? It's ETAPRIME back here again. Today I wanted to talk about a couple handhelds that I was able to take a look at and go hands-on with at Computex 2024. And of course, definitely seems like there were a lot there. We had the ROG Ally X, which is one that I'm really excited about. MSI kind of showed off their upcoming MSI 8 AI handheld powered by a more powerful Intel CPU. They've also got a Fallout variant of the MSI Claw coming out. Now, I do think it looks really good, but it's powered by that same Ultra 155H, so we kind of got to take that with a grain of salt. There was also Zotac's new Zone handheld, which was one of the more interesting ones that I personally love the design of. So yeah, there was definitely a lot of handhelds shown off at Computex, but there were two others that kind of piqued my interest, and the first one being the upcoming XPG Nia. So this was a very early prototype, and to tell you the truth, I'm not a huge fan of the overall design. Now, I do love the color scheme, purple being my favorite color, against that black. I think it looks really good like this. But what they've done here is actually really interesting. As you can see, it's got that tiltable screen, and it's pretty comfortable to hang on to. Basically, at any angle, you can set this thing up a bit, kind of lean back with it. You can definitely see that screen really well. Around back, we've got that kickstand, and since ADATA and XPG go hand in hand, they're talking about right under this kickstand, we'll be able to easily change out that SSD with some really fast ADATA storage. But I think what makes this really interesting is the fact that they want to implement Foveated Rendering on this handheld using the built-in high megapixel cameras. And basically what this is going to do is track where your eyes are looking at the screen and render that very clearly for us. But then around that, let's say in our peripheral vision, that'll be at a lower resolution. Therefore, in theory, we could see better performance out of these handhelds. So what I've done here is just to kind of give you an idea of how this works is set up a little bit of a demo. And right now we've got Forza Horizon 5 rendering properly all the way across the board. We've got full resolution across, it's just at 1080p. Basically, when we're playing a game, we're looking at one spot on screen at any given time. For this racing game, let's say we're checking out the road up ahead. We're not really keeping an eye on how good the trees look over on the side here, left or right. With Foveated Rendering, it's going to use those built-in high-resolution cameras to kind of track where your eyes are looking at and render that section properly. So again, with this racing game, I'm mainly focused on what's coming up ahead, the road. I need to make sure I make that turn correctly. So with Foveated Rendering, what it's going to do is render that centerpiece right there where my eyes are looking, dead in the middle of the screen, at full resolution. But on the sides, it's going to be able to take that resolution down. While you're playing this game, concentrating, doing 100 miles an hour through the forest, you're not looking over to the side, checking out those trees or anything like that. We're looking at that road, and that's what's going to be rendered at full resolution. Now, this demo doesn't include like eye tracking or anything like that. Obviously, it's a YouTube video. But if we were on the device and decided to look over, let's say to the left, in real time, those cameras are going to track exactly where we're looking. And in that spot there, it's now going to render at full resolution. I think it's a pretty cool concept. And of course, we definitely need to drive this car. So eyes forward, keep an eye on that road. Now we're at full resolution. And I do think that this could work out if it's implemented correctly. What it's going to do is take the resolution way down on everything we're not looking at in that moment. And in turn, it's going to alleviate the strain on the CPU, GPU. We could even save battery this way because it doesn't need to render in full across the whole screen. I personally think it's a cool concept, but we will have to see how this really works on a handheld. Either way, I think XPG with the Nia does have some really good ideas. But the other thing they mentioned was this handheld will have swappable RAM, and it's going to be using the new CAMM2 memory modules. I've heard some inklings that they're kind of delicate here and there. This is something new that everybody had at Computex, MSI, ASUS ROG. In terms of like a full-size motherboard, instead of having 4 slots or even 2 slots with SODIMM RAM, it is a module. So it's a pre-made module. You can buy them in 16, 32, 64. Not exactly sure how far they're going to be going up. But yeah, they stated that the XPG Nia can do up to 64 gigs at 7500 megahertz, so it'll be LPDDR5X RAM. And it'd be pretty cool kind of buying the base at 16 gigs later on, upgrading to let's say 32 or 64. But again, we really got to see a later production unit, see how everything functions in the XPG Nia to get an idea of how well this is all going to perform. Either way, I think they do have some really good ideas here. But another one that was kind of off-kilter, one that, a lot of people may not have seen, including myself. I actually missed this one, but luckily, one of my good buddies got me a lot of footage of this thing. He goes by Baldy Rudy, and you've seen some other footage in this video. Definitely check his channel out. It's pretty awesome. This is known as the 6 United Core 5. Obviously, it's a handheld gaming PC, but it's not for sale to the public. This is more of kind of an OEM handheld. So companies, and we probably will see this up on AliExpress with different skins and things like that, can basically buy these up and rebrand them. It kind of has the feel of an ROG Ally with an MSI claw mixed together here. Not exactly sure how much customization can go into this for different resellers, but if you had a big enough batch of them made, I'm sure you could probably change the color, face buttons, and all kinds of things like that. It definitely has a feel of an MSI claw mixed with an ROG Ally. And again, I'm pretty sure we will be seeing a lot of these up on AliExpress and other websites like that, branded by different companies. But the one they showed off here, if you take a look, goes up to 28 watts, 7-inch display, 2280 M.2 SSD. And if you take a look at the very top line there, Intel Meteor Lake. I'm not exactly sure if they'll have an AMD variant of this, but yeah, I thought it was interesting enough to throw in this video. Backside doesn't look bad. I mean, we've got a lot of ventilation there for a pretty big cooling system if you want to run an Intel chip in this. And one thing I really wanted to see at Computex was Meteor Lake performance, but unfortunately everything was pretty locked down from Intel right now. Would have been really nice to see a few games running on the iGPU because there are some handhelds already in the works using Meteor Lake. But yeah, the handheld gaming PC market is really heating up. A lot of different companies jumping on the bandwagon, and I really don't blame them seeing the success of the Steam Deck and even the ROG Ally. So it's pretty cool to see competition, all kinds of new features coming to these handhelds. And as soon as we get some more information or even seeing some real games running on the XPG Nia, I will make another video. I'll also post some stuff up in my community section. I thought these were pretty interesting, wanted to make a quick video, and I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments below. I mean, what is the handheld gaming PC market missing right now? If you could build a dream handheld, list the specs down below. But that's it for this one. Like always, thanks for watching.